At their peak, these five people were worth a combined $40 billion. Private jets, luxury mansions, magazine covers calling them visionaries. Today, prison cells, fugitive status, bankruptcy. Elizabeth Holmes saw her $4.5 billion net worth drop to zero overnight. Sam Bankman-Fried went from a $26 billion fortune to a 25-year sentence in a single week. These aren't just stories of bad luck. These are billion-dollar mistakes that erased empires, and the pattern behind them is terrifying. Alan Stanford wasn't just a banker. He was knighted by the Antiguan government, sponsored professional cricket tournaments, and lived on a private Caribbean compound. At his peak, Forbes estimated his net worth at $2.2 billion. His Stanford Financial Group managed over $7 billion in assets across 140 countries. The secret? A 20-year Ponzi scheme. Stanford sold fake certificates of deposit promising returns no real bank could match. When the 2008 financial crisis hit, investors tried to withdraw and the money wasn't there. The FBI raided his Houston offices in 2009. The second largest Ponzi scheme in US history had collapsed. Stanford was convicted in 2012 and sentenced to 110 years in federal prison. 110 years. He will die behind bars. In 2008, Sean Quinn was the richest man in Ireland. Net worth, $6 billion. A self-made billionaire who built an empire from a gravel quarry. The Quinn Group became a cement, glass, insurance, and hospitality giant across Europe. His wealth wasn't inherited. He built it with his own hands. So what went wrong? One catastrophic bet. Quinn invested billions into Anglo-Irish Bank through complex financial derivatives called contracts for difference. When the 2008 crisis hit, Anglo collapsed and Ireland nationalised it. Quinn lost everything, every company, every property, every asset. In 2011, the man who was once Ireland's richest was declared bankrupt, personally owing $4 billion. Today, Sean Quinn runs a small family farm in County Fermanagh, from a $6 billion empire to a couple hundred acres. One decision. Vijay Mallya was India's most flamboyant billionaire. He inherited the UB Group, India's largest liquor company, and built Kingfisher into a global beer brand. Then came Kingfisher Airlines. At its peak, Mallya's net worth topped $1.4 billion. He owned a Formula One team, a cricket franchise, a super yacht called the Indian Empress, and threw parties with Bollywood royalty. But Kingfisher Airlines was burning cash. By 2012, it owed over $1 billion to Indian banks. The airline collapsed. Mallya fled India in 2016, relocating to the UK. Indian authorities charged him with fraud and money laundering. The UK approved his extradition, but as of 2025, he remains in London, fighting every appeal. A billionaire once celebrated across India is now a wanted fugitive. His empire? Gone. His jet-set lifestyle? A 7-bedroom London mansion under legal siege. The king of good times became the king of bad headlines. Bought Super Bowl ads featuring Larry David. Tom Brady and Gisele Bündchen promoted his platform. The FTX Arena in Miami carried his name. In November 2022, a leaked balance sheet revealed what was actually happening. FTX had secretly loaned billions of customer deposits to Bankman-Fried's trading firm, Alameda Research. Within 3 days, $8 billion in customer funds vanished. FTX filed for bankruptcy. The domino effect wiped out an entire crypto market. In March 2024, Sam Bankman-Fried was sentenced to 25 years in federal prison for one of the largest financial frauds in American history. $26 billion to zero. 3 days. That's how fast an empire can evaporate when it's built on lies. Elizabeth Holmes wasn't just a tech founder. At 19, she dropped out of Stanford to build Theranos, a company that promised to revolutionize blood testing with a single drop from your fingertip. By 2014, Theranos was valued at $9 billion. Holmes's personal stake? $4.5 billion. She became the youngest self-made female billionaire in history. Forbes called her the next Steve Jobs. She wore black turtlenecks. She spoke in a deliberately lowered voice. She stacked her board with former secretaries of state and defense. The problem? The technology never worked. Not once. Theranos' machines couldn't actually run the tests. The company was using modified commercial machines and diluting samples to fake results. When Wall Street Journal reporter John Carreyrou published his investigation in 2015, the house of cards collapsed. Holmes was convicted of fraud in 2022 and sentenced to 11 years in federal prison. The $9 billion company that was supposed to change medicine, worth nothing. The black turtleneck billionaire, prison jumpsuit orange. Want more deep dives into how the ultra-rich build and lose their fortunes? Hit that subscribe button now and never miss a breakdown.